Is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the Batman Unlimited series Arkham Origins Batman figure. Now, get a good look at him here in the packaging. I had no clue that this figure was going to come out under the Batman Unlimited line. I honestly thought it had been canceled. A lot of stores dropped it. They said Damian was going to be in the series, then they moved him to the subscription service. So we knew these figures were getting made, him and Deathstroke, who was also in this wave. We just didn't know where or when. All of a sudden, they just popped up on Amazon, bought him up. Here he is. Now, Batman comes with no accessories, it looks like, although I do love how they've got his cape sculpted already. Very nice looking figure. Up here, you got a little bit of box art of him. On the back of the packaging here, you can see the Beware the Batman figure, which was in the previous wave, as well as Deathstroke. And his rib says, as a young boy, Bruce Wayne saw his parents fall victim to a senseless crime. He vowed to avenge their deaths by fighting Gotham City's criminal element as Batman. Tonight, the stakes are higher than ever. A bounty on his head, deadly assassins tailing his every move, and a vicious new menace in town. All on Christmas Eve, no less. Still a novice, Batman must hone his detective prowess, combat skills, and create specialized gadgets to protect his city and himself on this not-so-silent night. Down here, standard little read-up about Batman. So that being said, not too much else to say about the packaging. Let's open him up. And here Arkham Origins Batman is out of the packaging. Now, I do like how they sculpted the cape. It's very nice, and this great billowing pose, and it really brings the figure out. But it's extremely offsetting to the balance of the figure. I mean, you've really got to fight and get him in a pose that he'll stay in. You can kind of use the cape to help prop him up, as you can see there. But I mean, just a simple, straight up, dead on, standing on my own 2 feet, he's too heavy for. Which, granted, he's got foot pegs, so you can peg him into a base. Not a huge issue, but one worth noting. And again, I do like the pose they've got the cape in. Now, if I can get him to stand up, one of the things I really like about this figure is, this whole time we've been hearing about how this is a very early bat suit. It's kind of patched together. It doesn't look as official as the other ones did. And with this figure, you can really tell that, there's lots of different segments. You can see it's kind of buckled in over there. It looks more like patched together armor than anything, and I really dig that design. So, zooming back out. They did leave both fists closed, so no point for any accessories, no gadgets or anything like that. Not horrible to have a, Batman with 2 closed fists, great for fighting poses, but always nice to have extra gadgets for your Batman display. Now, as far as his articulation, Batman does a full 360 at the head, as well as some very nice up and down, as you can see there. His arms go out to here, back to about here, and out to right about there, very stiff. Obviously, the cape is hindering a tiny bit of the movement. No bicep swivel at all. Elbow joint, single jointed, goes up to about here. And it has a wrist joint, but it's pretty much hindered by his gauntlet, so not too much going on there. Looks like the waist joint is hindered by the utility belt. Very slight left and right, no crunch whatsoever. Legs go forward, back, and out. Very nice quadricep joint, and is that double jointed knee? Great. Always good to see. I reviewed Deathstroke from this line first, and I was a little bit disappointed in his articulation, which this Batman's missing some key points, but at least on the main points of the leg they didn't cheap out. Now, it has an ankle joint, but once again, the way these kind of metallic boots he's got on are designed, you've got nothing. Which is a real shame, because an ankle pivot could have saved some of the poses I want to do with this guy, and the fact that his cape is so freaking heavy. I mean, he's leaning back on it now, for God's sake. So, a lot of strange articulation decisions made with this line so far. Now, a lot of people are going to take a crack at making an Arkham Origins Batman. DC Direct has their version coming out supposedly, what is it? Very early November. I think they have Series 1 is Black Mask and their Batman. Then NECA is doing a giant 1/4 scale of him. I'll definitely get DC Directs. If I'm not broke at the time, I'll probably get NECAs. As it stands, I've had the same kind of feelings I had with Deathstroke about this guy. This is a beautiful looking figure. But, with DC Directs, usually when you buy a toy, you're like, oh, it looks great, it doesn't move all that well. And it feels like this is Mattel's same version of that. Like, I was expecting a lot of articulation, and not so much. But, real quick, this is just a quick comparison. This is Mattel's Arkham City Batman. One of the versions they did. This one obviously has much lighter blue. And you can tell there, they still hadn't completely worked the cape out, although this guy's articulation was far superior. If I can get him to stand beside him. Probably just have to hold him. As you can see, the Arkham City Batman is actually a bit bigger than the Arkham Origins one, which isn't a horrible thing. I don't see why Mattel really kind of tweaked the size, but, you know, I really do love how Arkham Origins Batman looks. He looks very real world to me. So, that's just a personal little thing, I guess. So at the end of the day, I haven't seen these in stores. They popped up on Amazon.com and I bought mine. I'll buy the DC Direct one as well and do a comparison. So right now it's really your guys' call. You know, you aren't going to do too much posing with this guy, which is unfortunate. So for some Batman fans, he might be a pass. But for die-hard Arkham Origins fans who can't wait to see if the DC Direct one turns out a little bit better, you can go ahead and pick this guy up online for about $15. That being said, this is JTrain997, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.